Please welcome Sebastian Maniscalco, born and raised in the Chicago area, and here he is making a dramatic entrance here on the Dan Patrick Show.
All right.
Is it tough to do comedy early in the morning, Sebastian?
I don't know. No.
It's not.
No, I'm ready to go. Everybody's got a laptop. I feel out of place.
You want a laptop?
I don't know. I have 5 laptops.
Well, I can get you a laptop. I don't know what you're going to do with it. I noticed in the book, though, there's a picture of you, and you used to do Michael Jackson at birthday parties?
Started doing it 5th grade at the ice cream social, and I won the, it's like a talent show.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it. People started asking me, you want to do this at my birthday party? So I would go to the birthday parties, and then I would slip into the bathroom, change into the Michael Jackson outfit, and then I would come out in their living room, and no one knew this was happening. Like everybody's like having fun at the party, and all of a sudden Billie Jean starts, and I come out of the bathroom, and people are like, "What's going on?" And I would do Billie Jean and Beat It for about 10 minutes.
So you just dance?
I just dance right in the living room. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's creepy a little bit. Were you getting paid to do this?
No, they just wanted me to, kind of, they would give me some food or what have you. But I was like, in the neighborhood, I was known as the guy who always did the Michael Jackson impersonation.
Okay, but when did you know that you could tell jokes, that you could do this for a living?
I knew young that I was going to do stand-up. I told my 2nd grade teacher I was going to do stand-up comedy for a living. When they went around for career day, I said I wanted to be a stand-up. I always fell in love with that. It was from like Johnny Carson. That's all I used to watch. I used to watch Three's Company. John Ritter was a big influence on me with the physical comedy and all that stuff. So I used to immerse myself in stand-up comedy.
But when you look at these guys, then you're trying to figure out, who can I be like? Because you can watch people and go, I can't do that, but I want to do it, but I can't do it like that person does.
Who did I want to be like?
Did anybody intimidate you where you go, oh my, like that's different, I can't do that?
No. I mean, I watched all styles of comedy and knew I was going to be able to do it. I was never the class clown. I was always kind of the observer. I always sat back and looked at people and kind of had my internal dialogue going. Like I looked at the class clown, I'm like, sit down.
Oh, really?
It's not funny. Like I always thought the class clown wasn't funny.
See, I was the class clown.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. And you're right. I wasn't funny, apparently. But yeah, I was class clown in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was best dressed. That was my claim to fame.
Okay. Would you rather be class clown or best dressed? Well, you'd rather be best dressed.
I actually was trying to get best dressed.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had no shot with that.
No?
No, I had hand-me-downs from a brother who was 5 inches shorter and about 20 pounds less than me. But those were the clothes that I got because he was 2 years older than me.
All right. So
pretty tough to make an impression
no
there.
Chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
But when you get to L.A. and you're trying to do this, do you go to the Comedy Store? Did you end up there?
Yeah, so 1998, I got to Los Angeles. I went to the Comedy Store because I thought that was the mecca of comedy in Los Angeles. And, I got in there on an open mic night. Mitzi Shore had asked me to prepare I think it was a 6-minute set at the time, and then asked me back to do a 10-minute set. And got in really early there, like early '99. I got into.
Who was hanging out there at the time? Do you remember?
God, it was Slim Pickens there at the time. It's not the way it was now. Back then, I remember watching Eddie Griffin come in there. Yeah. Dice Clay used to come in there a lot. But it was just it wasn't as popular as it was now. I mean, it had its heyday in the '80s, but the time I got there in 1998, it wasn't one of the best comedy clubs going.
Are you an athlete? Were you an athlete growing up?
Played soccer, all conference.
Of course.
In high school.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
But I played basketball, freshman B bench. Never played organized football. But yeah, I was athletic. Now not so much. Right now, my favorite game. I just picked this up, by the way, guys. Pickleball. Guys,
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah. Good workout.
Good workout, good exercise. That's about all I could do as far as athletics.
And all ages can play pickleball.
All ages. It's mainly senior citizens, but I've picked it up.
Do you want to explain pickleball?
Pickleball is like badminton, tennis, and like ping pong almost combined into one game. It's a smaller court than a tennis court. You play with a paddle and a wiffle ball.
Yeah. I've seen it. McLevin. Have you seen pickleball?
I haven't heard of it. What is it? Isn't it called paddleball?
No,
Where you play on
pickleball.
the small court. What's the difference?
I don't know what paddleball is. I'm just getting into the.
Maybe you'll graduate to paddleball.
Maybe paddleball comes after pickleball, but I just started playing recently, and I find it very, very fun and get a nice little cardiovascular exercise.
You have a bit where you talk about Italians don't play basketball.
Yeah, we don't.
Why?
It's just not something that a lot of Italians get into. I just don't think the Italians are abundant in the basketball realm of things.
But
short, it's not really promoted in the Italian culture. It's not like you're sitting around and your Uncle Luigi says you should be a basketball player.
How does do you do humor? So you make fun of the Italians, but how does that go over with the Italians when you make fun?
I make fun. It's more like I make fun of the upbringing I had and my father and the kind of old school way of raising my kids. My father came here from Sicily when he was 15 years old, and the stuff I talk about kind of resonates with the Italian culture. I mean, you don't have to be Italian to get it, but if you have like an overbearing father or a father who's constantly on your back, that's kind of how I grew up. He still is. He still comes to my shows. He's taking notes in the back with a notepad, and then he'll come in afterwards and he goes, "What happened with the subway bit?" It's like if you were going to Little League and then you had a bad game on the way home. Your father's like, you got to get down and get the ball. That's the way he is looking at my comedy career.
And he's the one that will be honest with you.
Oh yeah. He, I'll do this show, right, and then he'll watch it, and then if he doesn't call me, that means I did bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like everything's critiqued. Just like I'm looking right now, my mother will probably call me and go, "Tuck your shirt down when you do these." It's constant. It's constant critiquing in my family.
Would you give your expert opinion on this? Is Fritzy's last joke that he had last night at the Comedy Store.
All right.
So let's play it. Here's Fritzy last night.
Went to Israel recently. Anybody have been to Israel? Yeah. Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and all that. So my biggest concern, even though I wanted to see kibbutzes and try shawarma and some of the weird Mediterranean food, was to make sure we had 2 separate rooms. So the wife and I, God forbid, we have a little intimacy, it'd be nice. So I spent the extra money, got 2 rooms, one for the kids and one for my wife and I. 4 or 5 days go by, nothing. So I make my move. I don't know what my move is exactly, but I make my move to the wife. After 19 years of marriage, you would think you wouldn't have to have a move. But she's like, "What are you doing?" So like, "What do you mean, what am I doing?" I figure, maybe we can do something unholy in the Holy Land. I think that was my big line. That was my big clever line to get her in the mood, something unholy in the Holy. Because we can't. I go, "What do you mean we can't?" "No, the kids are in the next room." I know. That's why I spent all that extra money. They're in the other room. That's why I spent like $5,000 extra so we could have some privacy.
No, it's it. That's wow.
Just waiting for the joke to happen.
Ouch.
No, it's a good. There's one joke in there about if I could give a critique, and listen, I know you've been doing this,
This is third time.
It takes a while to do this. I mean, it's what I had the problem with in the beginning is too many words, to get to the joke. You got to cut the fat off there's a lot of explaining that you don't really need to do in there. And that just comes with time and repetition and whatnot. I mean, that's just, it's like anything else. You don't know how to catch a football when the first time you run out and do a pattern. You know what I'm saying? It's just multiple times. But I think that I like comedy coming from a real place, and that's coming from a real place.
And I will say, and not that you need my pat on the back, but when I went to see you a few weeks ago at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, I was just in awe when you see someone doing stand up, and I just did like 5 minutes. When you have material that you can do for like an hour and a half, 2 hours in like a sold out arena, and people of all ages and religions and cultures all find it hysterically funny. I don't know what's more amazing and talented.
Why don't you trim the fat on the compliment there?
I probably could have tightened that.
Like just hey, like maybe just say he did a great job.
But isn't that an amazing thing? You could make people of all groups and ages laugh, and so many people want to come to see you and travel long distances.
You're just doing the same thing. Like trim the fat.
That's very sweet of you to say. It's very nice.
I just think it's an awesome thing to be able to do, and to do it well, and have that much material where you can go on and have that kind of energy for an hour and a half.
This is the third time.
Listen, to be at the Comedy Store on your third time, though, that's because
he called it a favor. I would never. They didn't call me and say, "Hey, I heard you."
Adam
funny guy from the Dan Patrick Show.
Adam Sandler helped.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's how you got on?
Yeah.
I mean, well, still, to be on the Comedy Store stage, and that's the original room.
Yeah.
Was that the original room?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So
I had no business being up there, but because Dan and the Sandman are buddies, they were able to make that work out.
Hey, you got to take advantage of your connections here.
And then you got Madison Square Garden sold out?
Yeah, we have 4 shows there. The last show, still tickets available, January 19th and 20th. And yeah, the New York area has been really, really good to me over the years. And we decided to do the Garden. And at first we're like, yeah, I think we maybe could do 2 shows, but we got 4. I don't know.
Can you have too big of an audience? Like
these arenas are very large. I do it in the round. I try to make it as intimate as I possibly can. There's like a screen above my head where people that are sitting in the upper deck could kind of be a part of the show. Yeah, but comedy is meant to be enjoyed, just like you just saw there in a small comedy club.
Yeah.
But it's just I'd have to do a lot of comedy club shows to.
He's Sebastian Maniscalco, and Fritzy really thinks a lot of his stand-up act.
No,
I really do. It's an incredible talent to have, and I had a great time singing. I got a chance to meet him before he was kind enough to meet me before the show, and
the book is called Stay Hungry.
Just totally.
It's not a New York Times bestseller. It's a national bestseller. Like you went past the New York Times.
Yeah, I just said, leave the New York Times out of this.
Yeah, because if you don't get the New York Times, then you don't care.
It's not the end of the world.
No, this is national bestseller.
This is still national.
Yeah, and you're going to be in the movie Green Book.
Yeah,
you're in the movie Green Book.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah, got some great reviews so far.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a real big hit.
Yeah. You may turn into Adam Sandler, where you just leave stand up and start doing movies.
I will always do stand-up comedy. These movies are nice, don't get me wrong, but stand-up, you cannot.
Well, Sandler just went back on tour, did a special, where he went back on tour.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld, like it never leaves you guys.
No.
Jay Leno still does this.
No, you can't. Once it's in you, it's in you. You got to keep doing it.
Fritzy, is it in you?
To do what? to do more stand-up comedy?
No. You know what? Now that's great timing right there. Even though you weren't trying to be funny, that was funny. Accidental humor there. Well done, Todd.
That's the best I got.
Hey, maybe during the commercial break you can tell me what you think of Sebastian Maniscalco's
extremely talented guy.
Yeah, okay. Sebastian, thanks for coming in. Good luck with the book and the book and the Green Book. Stay Hungry is the name of the book. And go to SebastianLive.com.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.